Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
Right, Joe, we're going to draw our attention to Man United now, your beloved Man United. As the big news since Mark was last on the show is obviously all about Cristiano Ronaldo. No longer a Man United player. Mark, everyone and anyone has had their say on this, so I just wonder what you make of the whole Ronaldo saga.
I'm just going to use a line from Batman and say, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain. And Ronaldo just went out at the wrong time. That's all it is. I love him, but this season's been horrible. I feel really bad for him. And yeah, it's such a hard question to know when to retire, because if he'd gone in the summer, we'd have gone it was too soon. And actually, it would have been off into the sunset, MLS, whatever. But he's just stayed a little bit too long and it's just gone so bad. I feel really bad for him.
OK, there we go. Batman, great movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it brings us on to our next point, because with Ronaldo out the door... I do love Batman.
It was the segue.
With Ronaldo out of the door, it's highly likely Man United will spend in January and the next few windows, of course, as well. So we've given Mark a little task, haven't we? Do you want to explain how this is?
Absolutely. Mark is in his dream role today, the head of recruitment for Manchester United.
I would love to see that.
Never has a man been more prepared for a role from a YouTube channel than Mark Goldbridge for the head of recruitment. So Mark has got 5 players that he thinks Manchester United should be signing, not just in January, but maybe next summer as well, to take Manchester United back up towards the top of the table. Theo also has 5 suggestions, and you're going to kind of be critiquing some of Mark's suggestions in there as well. I think we can crack straight on with the first player.
Yeah.
So these are 5 players to get them title contenders.
Well, we need a right back, so I've gone for someone that may not be massively known, but it's Malo Gusto of Lyon, right back. So with Delo, we've got a right back who I think has come on leaps and bounds under Ten Hag and is therefore the senior right back. So you need a right back that's going to come in who's not pushing for his place, like we've got Malacia with Luke Shaw. So fantastic young right back who needs to adjust to the Premier League, who would work under Delo and then, you know, compete for first team, but not necessarily want it straight away, like a Dumfries or a Frimpong. I think they'd want to play straight away, and we're not looking for that. So I'd go Gusto from Lyon.
Interesting. You've gone with a goalie. So you think Man United need to bring in a keeper?
I think that's should be one of their priorities. Yeah.
No.
I actually really like David De Gea, but I feel like every goalkeeper they come to the bye-bye time, and I think De Gea's at the bye-bye time.
You're shaking your head. You don't think they need a keeper?
Absolutely not. Dubravka played in goal the other night, and this reminded me when we replaced Schmeichel. It's such a difficult job to be a Manchester United keeper. People don't realise it, and I think De Gea's doing really well under Ten Hag, and replacing him could take 2 or 3 years. Why replace something that's not broke? You've just been watching the World Cup, that's all.
Ivanovic, but he is actually really good. He's done it on the biggest stage of all.
Most saves of any goalkeeper at the World Cup, save ratio of 81%, 2 penalty shootout wins. Not for you, though.
No. If I was looking for a replacement, I'd be looking for someone like Robert Sanchez from Brighton, proven in the Premier League. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to your second player then. And you've actually, interestingly, gone for a centre-back, right?
Yeah. Because we're talking about the summer, aren't we? Yeah. And I think that with Varane and Martinez, Manchester United are set. But when we play Maguire or Lindelof, it's not their fault, but we have to play a different way. So I want a more modern centre-back who's more mobile. So I've gone Kim Min-jae, played in the World Cup at Napoli. Insider information on this, 2 weeks in June, his release clause comes down to £45 million. I probably just alerted everyone in the Premier League, but no, I like him. I think he's about 25, 26.
It's quality. Yeah. He's 26 years old. He's been brilliant this season as well. Most blocks, interception and clearances for Napoli, who are flying in Serie A this season. Was heavily linked to Tottenham as well in the last week.
So does that mean you let one of Maguire and Lindelof go?
I think one of them's got to go, yeah. Probably Maguire, because I think Harry Maguire, with Gareth Southgate staying now, he probably will want to play in the Euros. I can't see him being first-team footballer anymore, so I think Maguire I hope he goes for his own career, and then that opens up a spot. But maybe Maguire stays and Lindelof goes, but they're too different to the way we want to play. We need a more mobile centre-back.
Who have you gone with, Theo?
I've actually, ironically, gone for someone you mentioned earlier, Dumfries.
Ooh.
Right back. I think, again, you are right. Dalot has been really, really good, but you want someone... It's just Dalot, isn't it? Like, he's not a Man United... Man United, they have stars playing for their team, and there's no disrespect to Dalot. I think he's been fantastic. He's not a Man United right back.
Oh, that's so hard.
You know what I mean? Whereas Dumfries...
Well, Ten Hag wanted him in the summer, so that's the interesting thing. I always think Dumfries would be realistic, but I think Ten Hag has now seen Delo and wouldn't go for Dumfries. So if you were right, it'd be interesting, because he'd be going with what you think.
Amazing.
He has. I fully agree. But to go to the next level, I think...
He's been linked with quite a few Prem clubs, actually, Dumfries, isn't he?
Chelsea,
So you'd not expect, but you can imagine that might happen in the Premier League with one of the clubs. A lot of disagreements at the minute, so I'm intrigued to know who you've gone with as your third player to see if there's any...
Into the midfield.
Into the midfield.
Yeah.
So had a really good World Cup. United had a chance to get him a year ago for very cheap. Now we'd have to pay about 100 million. Enzo Fernandez.
21 years old he is as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like De Jong, I like Bellingham, but I think looking for the future, he's the next big thing. And, you know, I don't really judge people on World Cups. I judge him on what he's done for Benfica, but everyone saw him in the World Cup. He's got the lot. And United need a player next to Casemiro. I think Eriksen defensively is a little bit iffy, so, and also age. So we definitely need better than Fred and McTominay, and I think he could be in the midfield for the next 4 or 5 years.
Got the Young Player of the Year, didn't he? In the Young Player of the World Cup Award, sorry.
You've gone for another young midfielder, though.
Yeah, I want to say I don't not disagree with that. I think that he's absolutely sensational. But if you want someone to come in, hit the ground running straight away, Declan Rice is the man for pretty much any Premier League club that needs a number 8 DM.
How much do you think they'd have to spend to get Declan
So
Rice
much
to the
money,
door?
150 million.
No, I think it depends on his contract.
He's so good. Like, I don't think people realise how good he is. He's one of the best ball carriers in England.
Underrated in the World Cup. Didn't get enough mention, I don't think.
He can play number 8 now.
Yeah.
He can go forward. He picks up the ball instantly. He's a workhorse. He's a leader. Defensively, he's unbelievable.
I would take him.
He'll walk into any Premier League club.
Any Premier League club?
Any Premier League club, including Manchester City.
Where do you think he will end up? Because it sounds like from what you're saying, you think he will leave West Ham eventually. You said 150 million. Where do you think, realistically, if he does go, he will end up?
I think it's either United or Chelsea.
I think he's going Chelsea.
Chelsea for Mason Mount.
I think he wants to go to Chelsea.
With Kante,
he was there, wasn't he, as a kid?
Summer, probably.
Yeah. It's been in the room for a couple of years, and I think he'd happily come to United if Chelsea signed someone else.
Do a job alongside Casemiro in there?
Yeah. I think he was right. I think Declan Rice at West Ham has had to do a holding role because that's that team, and I think he really wants to be a little bit more advanced. So yeah, I think he could.
Perfect. All right, we're into the forward line now. This is where Manchester United obviously need reinforcements, don't they? Given that Cristiano has left the club and they don't really have a striker at the moment other than Anthony Martial. But we've got an agreement. The first today.
Agreement, yeah.
Cody Gakpo.
Cody Gakpo. OK, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Because he does split Man United fans online, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, people saying that he can't play through the middle, but he wants to play off the left. United have got enough left wingers. Where do you sit on it?
I think that Ten Hag wanted to buy him in the summer, and that was if Ronaldo was going to go, and then we spent a bit too much on Anthony. So the big attraction for me is the fact that Ten Hag wants him, because I'm really pro what Ten Hag's doing in the transfer market. But also, I think you look at the issues with Sancho. Garnacho's very young. Anthony's still adjusting. I think we do need an out-and-out striker, but I think what he's looking for in January is options across the front three, because it's a January signing, Gakpo, isn't it? So, and he can play through the middle. He did it in the World Cup, and he can play through the middle, and he can play off the left. And we've mentioned that Rashford, I think Ten Hag likes him through the middle. So I think he gives us a lot of... I think he's a perfect January signing.
I fully agree. I think he's so good. He's so good. If you look at when Henry was bought for Arsenal, he was a left winger, got converted to a centre-forward striker. I think Gakpo... He's the, out of everyone on this list, he is the most United signing. Do you know what I mean?
How much would he cost, do you think, in January? Is there a premium there? Because they're trying to get off a club that, you know, he's scoring goals for.
Mil?
PSV want the record to be broken, which was Lozano to Napoli for 44, so they're probably going to want 45, 50, which is too much. It is too much.
It's football in this
football.
era,
That's
though,
football.
isn't it? Yeah.
And that's what you have to do to buy in January, I'm afraid, isn't it?
His stats are great. I mean, he's only 23, 24 appearances, 13 goals, 17 assists for PSV this season, top goal scorer and most assists in the Eredivisie. And of course, he had 3 goals and 5 appearances for the Netherlands as well. So you'd think that he's going to be
good age as well.
A lot of clubs in for him. Last player then, 5th and final player. Looking at the board, I hope there's room to put this player on.
Where we're putting him, we've got to figure it out.
OK.
There we go, head to head.
Wow, OK. Osimhen, get your chequebook out right now for Napoli here.
Well, I'm thinking new owners, summer signing, because he's never going to come in January. Napoli are hopefully going to have a really good season, but he epitomises the out-and-out striker that we need. Good in the air, quick, target man, goal scorer. Get your chequebook out. I think he's got the lot, and I think he's exactly what Man United do. Right age profile, give you the next 5-10 years. So I think he'd be a perfect summer signing for Manchester United.
He's been linked with Arsenal for the last few years as well. Every summer it's like Osimhen's coming to Arsenal, and he never does. So I think he's destined for the Premier League. I think that would be a fantastic signing. But I've gone for Thuram.
Who's available for free?
Why would you not get him?
We don't want that. We're going to get new owners. We're going to splash the cash.
Not having
You could get,
no on these freebies.
You get a young talent for free.
He'd be good in January because you'd probably get him for about 10 million.
You don't seem like he's a
really impressive at the World Cup.
Every time he came on, he lit it up, didn't he?
I tell you what, if Anthony Martial delivered as your number 9, he'd be perfect as your bench option striker who can, compete. But I think I'm thinking summer. Let's bring a proper number 9 in. I don't mind Thuram as a sort of. Not a backup, that's not fair, but as an option.
So you're looking at him more as a squad player. Do you think then, Theo, because you've selected him, that he could start for Man United?
Don't know about start, but I definitely feel like he could work his way in.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Good value for money.
I think given the fee, then he might not demand a start if he's out of contract in the summer. We should talk then about where you think United will finish this season. If they do get maybe, Gakpo in January, you've talked about being a potential option, maybe a right-back as well, like a Marlow. Where do United finish if they do get Gakpo through the door?
I think it's such a weird season where the January transfer window is going to be universally the key. We saw it with Spurs last year when they got Kulusevski and Bentancur and it got you top 4. I think that has to be the lesson for everybody. So United have got to spend. If they don't spend, we're probably outside the top 6. If we do bring Gakpo in, I think we can get 4th place.
OK, there we go.
Agreed. Theo's nodding.
Theo, you agree with that? What Martin?
Yeah, I feel like if they make the right signings in January, they'll scrape top 4. If they don't, Liverpool will scrape 4th.